Imagine casting your ballot, walking out of the voting booth, and assuming your voice was heard, only to find out months later that a state board threw your vote in the trash because a government worker forgot to sign a piece of paper. That isn't a hypothetical. That is the exact nightmare playing out right now in Indiana Senate District 23. On May primary night, incumbent State Senator Spencer Deery walked away with a razor-thin victory, 6,337 votes to challenger Paula Copenhaver's 6,334. Just 3 votes separated them out of over 12,000 casts. Deery was declared the winner. Fast forward to the Indiana Recount Commission's 4-hour hearing. 10 ballots were rejected on administrative technicalities. 8 ballots belonged to Deery, 2 belonged to Copenhaver. In a single afternoon, Deary's 3 vote lead vanished, and Copenhaver was declared the new winner by the exact same 3 vote margin. Let's break down how 10 votes changed the course of Indiana politics. To understand why this recount was fought with such intensity, you have to realize this wasn't just a local race, this was the final battleground in a statewide political feud. Earlier this cycle, President Donald Trump threw his weight behind a push for mid-cycle congressional redistricting. 8 Indiana Senate Republicans broke ranks and voted against that push. In response, primary challengers emerged against the incumbents. 7 of those 8 anti-redistricting Republicans were defeated. Spencer Deery in District 23 was the lone survivor standing between a complete sweep. District 23 is a sprawling geographic district made up of Tippecanoe County and 5 surrounding rural counties. On primary night, Copenhaver carried the rural counties, but Deery crushed her in Tippecanoe by over 1,000 votes, giving him a slim 3 vote margin. Copenhaver immediately filed for a recount. She wasn't just looking for a recount, her legal team came with a strategy designed to challenge ballots line by line. When the Recount Commission met, Copenhaver's high profile attorney, William Bach, brought 2 major arguments to the table. First came the allegation of crossover voters. Copenhaver's team claimed that local Democrats illegally pulled Republican primary ballots specifically to vote for Deery. Her team even attempted to subpoena individual voters to investigate their voting history and social media posts. The commission did not invalidate ballots on crossover claims, but Copenhaver's legal team had a second weapon, absentee ballot technicalities. Bach argued that mail-in absentee ballots required heightened security markers, specifically the official signature and seal of the circuit court clerk, along with election judge initials. If a clerk forgot to stamp an envelope or a judge missed initialing a box, Bach argued those ballots were invalid under a strict interpretation of state election code.
Now, is it possible that a missing seal or signature or initials was the result of a mistake by an election official? Yes, it's possible that the failure of a voter to see and look for the reliability indicators, the seal, the signature, and the initials, is fault by the voter.
Deery's attorney, Samantha DeWester, pushed back forcefully. She argued that these voters followed every single law required of them. They filled out their ballot legally and submitted them on time. Why should a citizen be disenfranchised because a county bureaucrat forgot to sign a line?
Again, we'll reassert the same arguments I did on the previous ballot. Nothing in code, case law, anything gives this commission the ability to deny because a clerk didn't put a signature on after the 12-step process of absentee ballots of requesting one, mailing one, signatures, putting your social security number last 4 or driver's license number to have, because there's a clerk stamp missing, it invalidates the vote. Is that where we are now? Really? I mean, this should count. This is a legitimate vote. State Board of Accounts counted it as valid. But now we're going to say because the clerk didn't put a stamp on there that this person doesn't get to vote.
The debate inside the hearing room dragged on for over 4 grueling hours. Out of over 12,000 votes, the fate of the election came down to about 15 disputed absentee ballots. The 3-member Recount Commission was made up of Indiana Secretary of State Diego Morales, Republican Paul Mullen, and the Democrat Michael Claytor. In a series of tense 2-to-1 split votes, the Republican majority sided with Copenhaver's strict legal interpretation, voting to throw out ballots missing clerk signatures or proper seals. Democratic Commissioner Michael Claytor dissented, noting the sheer absurdity of invalidating legal votes over administrative oversight. When the final count was tallied across all counties, Deery lost 8 votes, Copenhaver lost 2. The net 6-vote shift wiped out Deery's 3-vote lead and handed Copenhaver a 6,332 to 6,329 victory. Just like that, the candidate who lost on primary night was declared the official nominee. Fallout was immediate and bitter. After the hearing, Paula Copenhaver declared victory, telling reporters it's about the better candidate, and so far, the better candidate prevailed.
So far, the better candidate prevailed. No hard feelings towards anybody who has supported Senator Deery. And at one point in time, I also supported him. But here we are on to a new race, and I am asking for the Republicans and even those who aren't Republicans to rally around behind me and get me across the finish line in the election.
Senator Spencer Deery didn't hold back in his response. An official statement, he wrote, "This was not a meeting intended to find fairness. It was designed to find votes. Indiana law makes it clear that valid votes should not be silenced simply because of minor errors made by clerks." Deery's legal team is preparing an emergency appeal to the Indiana Court of Appeals. His team warned that this decision sets a dangerous precedent, allowing future losing candidates to overturn certified elections by hunting for minor administrative mistakes made by election staff. This case forces us to ask a fundamental question about American democracy. Should election rules be enforced so strictly that innocent voters lose their right to be counted because a county clerk made a clerical mistake? Or should security rules be non-negotiable no matter how close the race is? Where do you stand on this decision? Should the Court of Appeals step in and flip this back? Or did the Recount Commission get it right? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, hit that like button, and subscribe to Wake Up Indiana for more Indiana politics.